Welcome back to a 78 Camaro video in which it is absolutely freezing in here, but we'll fix that. We'll put the noisemaker on in just a minute. Tonight we will get a little bit done in here because those plates from POL have shown up, which is Performance Online, and they will help us move the shocks inboard. So the box finally came, no instructions, had to actually contact them about it, but now we have them. And I brought these guys back just in case. So there's our plates, you know, shouldn't be too bad. We'll show you that. And I have spoken with our good friends down in Lakeville at Viking Performance, and we were half right. The fact that we decided not to continue trying to take that off was a good thing. He said, don't do that. The other thing is, we can totally mount these shocks upside down. Doesn't matter because of the way they're valved, and we can pop these out. However, just the way we were going to do it isn't going to work, so we ordered the correct sleeve and bolt to do that. So these won't go, well, they might hang, but they won't get completely installed until probably next week. So waiting on parts there. Seems to be the story of our lives. So that should give us quite a bit. And then the other thing we've been looking at is motor mounts for the big block in this car. And you know, he's found 3 different styles of the clamshells because there really isn't a reason not to use the factory style. In fact, we ordered some polyurethane inserts to go in them. It's going to give us our best options at getting headers that fit right out of the box or as close as they're going to, because they're designed around these. So we're going to go down that. It's just figuring out, you know, there's obviously some different heights, and in fact we went ahead and just ordered some for a 78 Camaro with a 305. So that gives us plenty of options to figure out how to get this mounted at the right height, sitting correctly, nothing under stress. So that's another one of the things we'd like to take a look at. Okay, here's the POL brackets that we have to put up inside the frame. I'll show you the concept for that in a minute. And here is our lower shock plates with the required angle. So I'm going to hand those over to find out if these even pass muster or if these have to change color. You know how that goes. He's got to decide. Looks like step the first is not only do I got to drop the car and take the tires off, but it looks like this is going to be in the way. This little brace. They don't mention it in their instructions, but it's definitely going to be in the way because they want us to drill through this hole up here, and that'll be one of the locating points, and then that shock brace will be right up here. So, now, I'll get at it. Hate having to call out companies, but I'm going through the instructions that POL's got here, and I don't know if you see something a little different, but we have 3 squished holes. They have 3 more of a diamond with a giant hole in the middle. So, and that's supposed to locate that so that we can put this in the right spot. The other problem we have is, see where that plate goes to the front? Well, we have this issue. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a giant bracket here. So, we gotta think this through. This is gonna be more work than we had hoped. We already knew it wasn't gonna be fun, because, you know, drilling holes in the frame is never fun. But yeah, there's a little more to it. And there you can see on the 70 that those 3 bolts look like a big triangle, and underneath, oh, let me get myself under here, and underneath, okay, sorry if I'm shaking everybody, that bracket isn't there. So they're definitely a little different, but at least I know which 2 bolts matter. So we're gonna have to get creative. Okay, based on what we just saw on the 70 and the way this picture looks, we think this is our hole. Somewhere in time they said, well, why are we putting a hole there? And they just put the nutsert there. and quit putting this hole up here, but POL's instructions isn't aware of it. They also added this little reinforcing brace. Get light, because maybe I can actually show it to you. See across there. So we're going to have to drill some spot welds, try to peel it back enough to get the plate between them, and then you'll have to kind of clean it up and weld those back in when we're done, because Jim didn't put those in there for no reason. I'm sure there was some reason. Well, it's starting to feel like we might be committed. Looks like he's cleaning off paint to look for spot welds with what turns out to be like a great tool. So he's going to clean those up and find the welds. Better for worse, we're committed now. Okay, I've gutted that one out. That's now a 3/4 hole. Then I got to find the center and drill a 3/8 hole. And I need this hole to get the head of the bolt in. So, takes a little bit. Okay, so I finally have that walled out on this side. You can see I got a pilot start there, but I can't do the drill through until he's got that bracket peeled like he does on the other side. So I'm going to come over and get this one drilled now. So, yeah, fun. It's crazy town. Okay, we finally have our hole here and this out of the way enough so we can get the plate in, so we can start a bolt, so we can locate where our other bolt is, which I don't know if you guys can see it real well, is right next to this hole. No idea how I'm supposed to drill that. We're really thinking about just nicking it. This has been an absolute nightmare. So I think we almost have one side ready to bolt up. Drilling through there with that lip there and that floor there and next to that hole, which I think you can see over here, yeah, we broke a couple bits. This has been quite the struggle, but I think we got one side actually up. So, and then I've got the shock hung the way it's gonna go. And then this winds up here, so see the angle it's at, which means this can kick at that angle when we get the right stud. So we'll have that later this week. But that's all that was about. But boy, that frame is thick. It is very, very fun to drill through. Cleaning up the spot welds so we can get this plate in. That was a bit more work than we expected, and in fact we're not even done. He's going to trim these back so they can get this in here and get it scuffed and weld those to the plate. You know, that 70 doesn't have these brackets, but the 78 did, and you know, Jam spent money on it for a reason. So we're going to put those back, and he's just going to weld them to this. But, you know, we got to trim it because of that bolt, and because this will hit that. But that gives us the ability to hang the shocks upside down, because we're not spending 450 bucks on a new set of shocks, because, you know, this all changed. We do have some parts coming from Viking so that we can mount the stud inside that eye. There's a bushing that goes with it, and then the stud obviously mounts off this plate, you know, this way. Then that eyelet slides there, and they assured me that hanging it upside down was not a problem, which is good to know. You know, always ask those things. So these will be protected up high instead of protected down low. We're probably gonna have to get new stickers. We'll see. Anyway, Mr. Noisy Man is back. And real quick, I forgot to shoot a closeout, and the truck's warming up, and I'm not walking back to the shop, but it's that time of year. Thanks for watching. Always pay attention to what you're doing and where you can and can't fit. Sometimes you need a friend.